are live once again with you here on VRN for the Slide Job Racing League, rolling into Season 16 now, getting underway after the fantastic race last week at Daytona. We head now up to North Carolina to race in Rockingham here for race number 2. Of course, Rockingham just got a new update on iRacing today, and if not today, it was very, very recently. It has given us a new track, in the sense that it is not the old model, it's a newer model based on what was run for the NASCAR teams in 2025. So excited to see that here, excited to have that here tonight, ready to present that for you here on VRN for the Slide Job Racing League. It's the Rock 140. We're excited to have you here. Dawson Allen on the call, as always. As we're getting ready to head into tonight's action, looking forward to a lot of fun short tracking here for the Slide Job Racing League at what is a very fun track. I love Rockingham. I love racing at Rockingham. I love the action it can put on here. So we're almost done with practice. It's really kind of pointless to cut down on the track for practice. Dylan Parker in the 3 car is your fastest car. Michael Kruger second fastest. Then Brett Bennett, Dane Cruz, Bridger Olson. So we'll show up for the last about 30 seconds of this practice session as we get ready to roll into qualifying here in a second. With just 20 seconds to go. Last week's winner, Yusuf Ghali, currently right now 11th fastest. He's looking to see if he can go back-to-back and pick up the first 2 wins of the season here at Rockingham to kick off Season 16 on the right foot, if he can. We'll see what he can do. With 4 seconds left before we head into qualifying for the field. The beautiful thing about this racetrack, about having a new updated track on iRacing, means you have to go through and you have to update everything. I had to make a new custom camera pack for this track right before this broadcast. So if anything goes wrong on the broadcast, I'm sorry. I had to rush to get this put together to see how it would come together, and we'll see if it looks good enough. So qualifying is underway. We're getting ready to get out on track and get some drivers out there qualifying to start on the pole position for the first race at Rockingham here in Season 16. Going on to our fastest in qualifying. That was the 3 of Dylan Parker. He heads out onto the racetrack now. This, I believe, is the first trip to Rockingham for the Slide Job Racing League. If not first ever, it's the first at least a little bit. Have not run since Season 12 at least. Let's see as we're watching Dylan make his qualifying laps here. Fastest on the track right now. Yes, I do believe this might be the first ever trip here to Rockingham. No, in fact, it is not, but it is the 3rd ever trip, and we will for sure have a new winner, as the 2 drivers to win there before are not racing in the league anymore. So we're prone for a new winner here at the Rock. We'll see who it is tonight. Right now, Dylan Parker is your fastest in qualifying at 23.334. Fastest time on track over Bridger Olson, Enrique Hugelon, Brett Bennett, and now Ben Baffert, who takes over the 10th place spot. We'll jump back to Yusuf Ghali in that number 54 Cruise Auto Racing Toyota Supra. He is looking to go ahead and take the pole position tonight, looking to go back-to-back to kick off Season 16. Ghali is going to spin it here, so he's not going to get a lap time in. So we'll come back to Jeffrey Armistead. He's on track right now, getting ready to qualify. Diego Acuna is out on the track. Alan Hunt, Christian Delgado, and Joaquin Stewart also out on the track. We got a lot of drivers entered in tonight's race. I don't think we'll get into DNQ territory. We are very much near a full field once again here this second week of racing. Armstead starts his qualifying time now, this time by 24.240 for that 14 machine. We'll see what he can do his second lap. If he can keep it off the wall and keep it without incident, that is. He'll round at the 3 and 4. He'll head towards our finish line, down to the apron at the line that time. It's going to be an improvement. 23.608 should put him about 8th fastest. Indeed, it does. 6:13 is the total time he'll have there, just about close to his teammate Brett Bennett. There's only a car on track left now. Jace Lafort out there qualifying in the number 92 machine, and Jace goes 20th fastest right now. We'll see if he can pick it up in his second lap. Queen Stewart goes 27th fastest. Watching Lafort come to the line this time. He'll bump up from 20th to 15th. A good jump there for the 92 to start about mid-pack in this race. He's going to take the rest of this time to get some extra laps, some extra practice in with the last 43 seconds of this qualifying session before we get ready to go racing. He's going to practice pit entry. You got Ben Baffert Ben Baffert is doing Ben Baffert things, and Ridge Olson is sitting on pit. So we'll watch Ben Baffert for the last 19 seconds of qualifying as we have officially wrapped it up. He'll tow as soon as I put the camera on him. He tows. Come on, Ben. So that'll do it for qualifying here for this field. Getting ready to go at it here in the race as we get ready for the session to just click on over and go into the race session. Of course, NASCAR made its triumphant return to Rockingham just this past season. We also saw the return of Casey Kane. Return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in this very race. Look forward to seeing some more Casey Kane in NASCAR. We deserve to see more Casey Kane in NASCAR. But right now, we're going to look and see this field tonight and see how they do here in the Slide Job Racing League. Starting on the pole position tonight, it is the guy fastest in practice, Mr. Dylan Parker. To his outside, he's got the 41 of Michael Kruger. You got Bridger Olson starting in third with Bryson Bird on his outside. Two back-to-back efforts for those two in the top 5 in qualifying. You got Enrique Cucalon starting in 5th. Matthew Chastain will be right outside there in row 3. Brett Bennett, Jeffrey Armstead, some Sir Comfort's teammates starting together in row 4. Then you've got the 19 of Coleman Elmore and Ben Baffert, who rounds out your top 10. 11th place spot will belong to the driver of the number 03. It's Christian Delgado. To his outside, it's Gavin Austin. You got the 72 of Alan Hunt with Frank DeAngelis right there on the outside in 14th. 15th, Jace Lafort with Jared Wilson outside of him. You got Tyler Watermolen and Nick Wheeler together in row number 9. And running out the top 20, it is Brian Smith and Diego Acuna. 21st is Zach Probst with Derek Newsom on his outside. You got Robert Lukens and Sam Ballard together in row 12. Row 13, it's William Martin and Owen Chybinski. You got Joaquin Stewart and Yusuf Ghali in row 14. Then it's Dane Cruz and Clark Gennikin rounding out the top 30. And the rest of your field, it is the 16 of Connor Zoll, the 59 of Blaine Sparling. You got the 29 of Zachary Tyler, Nick Bingham in the 93. And then it's Matt Steiner and Colton Sorrell rounding out your field of 36 unofficially ready to go racing here at the Rock tonight. 36 cars have entered this event. I noticed the 35 shows up. It's Brian C. Smith. It normally drives the 35, and 35 is was somebody else last week. Of course, if you tuned in to that, the duels or the race last week, we talked about it. Check and see. I want to say it was Keith Calhoun. Indeed, it was. Not here tonight, so I guess Brian wound up with a 35. He was driving 35. So when that pops up, I'll show you here. It's got Calhoun's number, but it's not Calhoun driving. It's Brian C. Smith. So way to go, Brian, for ruining that, messing it up. Always does. So the pace car is going to lead this field around through turns 3 and 4. And leave the field in the hands of the flag man. where Dylan Parker and Michael Kruger will watch with bated breath, waiting for that flag to fly to let them go racing and turn it loose here at the Rock. 140 laps lie in wait for these drivers. The first trip back to Rockingham since Season 3. The green flag is out. We're racing at the Rock. Dylan Parker leading lap number 1. Michael Kruger right in tow. Bryson Bird gets up to 3rd as Bridger Olson fades back to 4th. And it's kind of single file now. Caution is out further back. Car's wrecky. Yusuf Ghali is around. I think Robert Lukens went for a spin as well. Indeed, he did. Lukens gets it back rolling. We're under caution for the first time here on lap number 3. We'll take a look at your BRN replay and see what happened and put us under caution for the first time tonight. Yusuf Ghali started deeper in this field, didn't qualify. Lukens just gets loose up ahead of him. Ghali gets in the back of him to help him finish the spin, and Ghali just kind of slides a little bit. Nothing too dangerous. These drivers both avoided really any heavy contact. Just a matter of spinning out as they came off of turn number 2. You'll see Lukens, top of your screen. We'll use the zoom camera. You see right there, just contact, and around he goes. Ghali was involved as well. Simple spins, simple caution. We're pacing around once now for the first time this race. Hopefully this doesn't become a trend. I'm really hoping it doesn't. So as we pace here, of course pacing is the most fun time of the race. I think everybody loves it when we pace around here. See how they fare as they come back around. We'll see how this does on the restart. Pace car will dive off this time. Pace car taking it back to pit road. And that leaves Dylan Parker as your control car as we come back around to the restart zone, back to the green flag, back to racing here at Rockingham. And you can just see the difference that will be made all night on these restarts. The launch you get as the control car compared to the rest of the field. Off and away with this race lead now as they are battling almost 3 wide for a second further back here. As you see up ahead, the battle for the lead is underway. Michael Kruger to the inside, going for the top spot. He'll slide up in front of Dylan Parker and take it. Bryson Bird is coming for second as well. Quickly, how he was well out in front Dylan has an issue. He loses the lead. Now a battle between teammates for the top spot. Bryson slips up inside, gives Mikey room. He's in second. Oh, Mikey has a little bobble there on the exit of turn number 4. They're coming down the front stretch, heading back for turn number 1. Kruger clear ahead for now. Bird is in second. Bryson Bird takes the race lead away from Michael Kruger and leads the line that time. Michael Kruger slots in second. Dylan Parker trying to get Chase getting back up there. So far, through 10 laps complete, it's kind of just been a back and forth affair for the race lead. I mean, the biggest lead we saw was Dylan Parker when he got to launch on the restart. It's the furthest he got ahead, and then after that, it's just been cycling through so far. It's going to be a story of comers and goers, I think, in this race. It's really going to be what we see tonight. You see Dylan dropping back to 5th now, and now he's under fire from Bridger Olsen to fade out of the top 5 entirely as the battle for the lead is brewing back up again. We got Michael Kruger rolling up on the back bumper of his teammate Bryson Bird, who leads this field off of turn 2. Back behind them, how about Matthew Chastain slotting himself into the 3rd position with Enrique Cucalon behind him. We're going to have a very interesting rotating cast of characters, I think, leading this field as this race progresses. It's going to be just a back and forth all day affair. People are going to be coming, people are going to be going from the front to the back and vice versa as this race progresses. But right now, it's Bryson Bird who controls the field over teammate Michael Kruger as they head to 3 and 4. We're getting closer in the mirror of Bryson Bird, heading back into turn number 1. Putting a lot of pressure on that 53 car for the race lead. Just right up on the 53 as they head back down into 1 and 2, and you can see they're kind of single file now for a while. They've kind of gotten squared away and sorted out a little bit, I'd say, through 15 laps. On this restart here came out about 7 laps ago. Battle you got back there's 11 to 12. Frank DeAngelis holds 11th place. He's got Ben Baffert in his tire tracks trying to get up there and make the move here. Up ahead there's Coleman Elmore in the number 19 machine chasing down Brett Bennett. Behind though, we got to battle Derek Newsom, I believe, on the outside of Zach Probst. Oh, look at Yusuf Ghali going to sit it 3 wide. 3 wide, they go into turn 3. Ghali looking for a 2-for-1 special, and he gets it. An aggressive move paying off for the 54 team. Quickly going 2-for-1 through 3 and 4. How about that move by our race winner last week? Probst gets clear. Newsom, you see Smith now trying to make the move as well to the inside. He'll do so on the 35 car to move to 16th place. Sliding up in front of Newsom as there's Clark Gennikin who is inside. Gennikin looking for that 17th place spot. It's this battle hotly contested right now, but up front, here comes a battle for 3rd place. Chastain holds it. Cucalon wants it. Olsen and Austin now about to battle for 5th place as well. Tight racing here in this field coming to lap number 19. kind of not settled, I would say. More so just everybody kind of finding their groove and the field kind of splitting as that goes. The guys that are kind of running a little bit to struggle are fading back. The guys who are rolling and riding are kind of moving towards the front. Somebody that's moving towards the front is the 54, of course, Yusuf Ghali, up 16 spots already from the drop of the green flag in this race. He's looking to keep pushing forward. He's got 3 cars up ahead. He's chasing. It's Baffert, Bennett, and DeAngelis in the 96, who's also kind of moved up a little bit in that 96 car. Ghali is our biggest mover of the race so far. Clark Gettigan's up 13 spots as well. The biggest faller of this race would be Tyler Watermelon, who's dropped 13 spots from the drop of the green flag all the way back to 30th place for that number 69 car. Bryson Bird continuing to lead this race as they make their way through 1 and 2. It's not uncontested. He's got pressure out back. Of course, teammate Michael Kruger, Matthew Chastain as well back there, Enrique Cucalon, another circumference driver, and Bridger Olson, your top 5. It's really just your top 7 that are all together in this mix. Back to Dylan Parker in 7th place, who's starting to try to make a move here. Trying to get up there and make a run. Gavin Austin for 6th place. Side by side they go. A little tight racing there between Dylan Parker and the 6th of Gavin Austin. Heading back into turn 1, it's going to be Dylan Parker clearing back for 6th, and now what started off as out in the lead and fading back to about 7th place. He's looking to keep marching back forward as this run has gone on now. Dylan has got some serious speed with his machine, a sub 25-second lap that no one else is doing right now. As he's making moves through the field again, trying to get back up towards that top spot. Bridger Olson right up ahead of him. Still a ways to go before lap traffic becomes a factor. We got 33 cars that started tonight's race. 3 cars did not take the grid, so we did not have the full field of 36, just 33 drivers on track right now. Bryson Bird continuing to hold strong in the top spot as they come across the stripe this time, but you see some stack up happening behind Matthew Chastain now. Dylan Parker going to work the outside lane, see if he can't get some runs going to the top and cutting back down to the bottom of the track. And it looks like that's where he's getting his speed. He's getting his momentum from that way, those moves down the straightaways. And you see now here comes Olson to the inside of Enrique Cucalon for 4th. As he gets by, Dylan Parker will take the line there on the inside as well, trying to get by the 22 machine. It's kind of feeling like through 1 and 2, you kind of run towards the top and cut to the bottom in turn 2. You get a really good run to the back. You don't want to be up on top the whole time. And then 3 and 4, it's really about just kind of making that run work on the bottom. What I'm kind of seeing right now from these cars, the caution is out. Got a car around to the back. Oh, big hit there. That's Alan Hunt, the 72. Huge hit for him. That's Tyler Watermole, and that's Robert Lukens that are damaged. And Derek Newsom further back. Hunt has got his hood gone. Not sure what happened. I came back to the scene of the crime and saw a car off its wheels. Heavy, heavy, heavy hit further back in this field. We'll take a look at the BRN replay and see what happened. And I think this starts with Derek Newsom. I'm not too positive, but it looked like it starts with the 50 cars. We'll take a look at the BRN replay and see what happens. It's coming off of turn 2. It's tagged by William Martin into the inside wall. Heavy hit. And then in that stack up there, Alan Hunt into the back of the 5. And that takes him out. So we'll take a look on the backstretch camera. I'll kind of use the beautiful zoom feature. You'll kind of see right here off the corner, there's that 50 car. Contact made. He'll hit the inside wall. And William Martin is already slow. Hit in the back by Alan Hunt. Robert Lukens, Tyler Watermelon, both just left nowhere to go as they get into the back of the 5 car. And stack up on the backstretch. Right on board with Alan Hunt. Big hits there for a couple of these guys. So pit stops underway. Pit stops completed. Bryson Bird will hold the race lead off pit road over Michael Kruger. Bridger Olson, Dylan Parker, Matthew Chastain are the top 5 and how they roll off pit lane. Kukulon back in 6th, and Gavin Austin, Jeffrey Armistead, Frank DeAngelis, and Brett Bennett are the top 10 as they get off of the pit lane. So here we go, getting ready to restart on lap number 33. Bryson Bird is the control car race leader. He took the lead away on about lap number 11. Hasn't looked back since, but he's had some pressure from Michael Kruger and a hard-charging Dylan Parker trying to get back to the top spot after dropping back earlier on in this race. Pace car dives off. Bird will match the gas and get us back to racing. Let's go! You see that outside line, huge stack up in the back here behind Brett Bennett. Did not get going good, and that stacked up the outside lane for a second. They get it gathered up, keep it going, and they're okay. But right now up front, the battle for the lead. Michael Kruger on the inside lane, trying to get to Bryson Bird. Can't quite do it. Dylan Parker now working the top side. He's trying to get a run down the front stretch to clear for third. Parker gets, oh, he gets into Kruger! Kruger saves it, so does Dylan. How on earth do these two keep it straight? But damage to the back as well, 4 wide for a second. So far, so good, but Dylan is struggling with his car. Dylan's still struggling. He's spinning on the front stretch. Caution will fly. Zach Probst is in it. Heavy hit there. It's the 79 to Joaquin Stewart. There's the 97. That's Sam Roldan. Or Sam Ballard, pardon me. That wreck started a lap ago and took an entire lap around the track before it finally brought the yellow flag out. And the key component there was Dylan Parker. An incident on the second lap after the restart. We'll go all the way back to this moment there is what we'll have to do to really show you where it all starts. So it first happens right here. Dylan Parker gets in too hot into the back of Michael Kruger. Somehow, someway, both of them save it. Brett Bennett sliding in the background as well because he wanted to be part of it as well. 4 wide they go. They get back to 3 wide, but then right here you'll see the 3 car just struggling, trying to keep it down on the bottom. He is all over the track. He drifts up into Gavin Austin. He loses control, contact with the 23, and after that, everybody else just really nowhere to go to the 79, and then the 97 just drives into the back of the 79 as well. Car in the grass, I think that was Ben Bafford in the number 23 car. Just a little bit of everything happening there on the front straightaway. What a beautiful camera angle. This is the Fox camera angle if I've ever seen one. We'll change this camera angle. We'll go back to the turn 1 camera and show you this one. How it develops on the front stretch. So we go back under caution for the third time tonight. Our first DNF tonight was Derek Newsom. He's out of the race in 33rd. Alan Hunt scored 32nd right now. He's 6 laps down, still in pit lane getting damage repaired. He's going to try to come back out, I would say, later on in this race, but he's going to be out of contention for this one. Robert Lugan's well is 4 laps down, just trying to get damage repaired to keep racing, hoping for more cautions to get his laps back. And then Sam Ballard likely going to be out of this one a lap down, still getting damage repaired. Dylan Parker is out back, trying to get damage repaired, as is Joaquin Stewart. And Michael Kruger back in 23rd after that incident as well. That's how they shuffled from the front to the back. But up front, still Bryson Bird leading with Bridger Olsen now taking second place. Matthew Chastain in third. It is Enrique Cucalon in fourth. And Gavin Austin finds himself in fifth. Pace car's going to lead this field back around, pulling back down pit lane. We'll restart on lap number 39 this time. So if we can get a bit of a run in for this field to get some more laps ticked off in this one here tonight. Pace car is off. Bryson Bird to the restart zone, back on the gas, green flag, back in the air. And again, a big stack up on the outside lane. For a second, it looked like we might have had another bit of a chain reaction kind of accident. But everybody gets powered back and going. They're side by side for fourth place, pardon me. It's Cucalon and Austin. But further back here, some battles happening. You see the 19 of Coleman Elmore, the 03 of Christian Delgado side by side as they make their way off of turn number 4. Heading down the front stretch back into turn 1. And of course, Rockingham's such a tricky racetrack to really navigate because it's got a unique front stretch. It's really not a true straightaway. If you ever see these drivers kind of follow it along, you'll see it right here. We'll follow Cucalon and Gavin Austin. Or hell, we'll ride with Cucalon in the number 22 car. And you can just see how different this front stretch is. It is nowhere near the same as what you're used to seeing at a straightaway racetrack. You'll see the backstretch here. Nice and flat, nothing different. You know, your usual backstretch, nothing crazy. It's not like Chicagoland, but it's normal. But this front stretch is so different. It's so different for these drivers. Off the corner, a little bit of a short shoot, but it stays curved pretty much the entire time. A big cut right here, down into turn number 1. It's not really crazy, but it's crazy enough to where you have to put some effort out there to make that straightaway work, to carry speed, carry momentum, and try to push further forward. Second place now belongs to Matthew Chastain. He got by Bridger Olsen, looking to chase down our race leader Bryson Bird now. He's number 12 as he heads down the front stretch, heading into turn number 1. So it looks like Bryson has a little bit of right rear damage. Nothing too critical, nothing too crazy, but a little bit of damage on the 53 car. He makes his way through 3 and 4. Been chased by the 12 of Matthew Chastain. Chastain a bit faster last time by. So carry their way back through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they go. Once again, kind of spreading back out. Nothing too stacked up in the front half of this field. It's further back. You got a battle right now between Brett Bennett and Ben Baffert. This is the battle of the BBs, battling for 12. Bennett dropping back quickly as Clark Gennigan on his inside. Looks like Jace Lafort right behind as well, trying to get up there and make some moves, mix it up for 14th place. Bennett in the wall, big hit there. Another car on the wall, the background is Blaine Sparling, I think. As now you see Jared Wilson to the inside of Bennett, side by side. These two go 15. And behind them, Dane Cruz, who has some damage from an earlier incident. A little damage, nothing too crazy for him. Started out back in this race tonight. He is up a couple spots. See if he can make something work, but of course, up 13 spots. Not the biggest mover of this race. That, of course, is Yusuf Ghali in the 54, who's up to 9th place, up 19 spots since the start of this one. Jeffrey Armistead on the back bumper of Enrique Kukal, and this is for 6th place. Got Coleman Elmore, Yusuf Ghali right there behind him. The gap to Christian Delgado in the 03 as they head down the backstretch, heading down into turn 3. Ghali really driving it. Oh, he makes contact. Elmore slides. Elmore saves it. Oh my God! Coleman Elmore, what a save by the 19. It looked like he was going to spin in turn 3 and 4. He hangs on to it. It looks like he is heading straight for the tires on pit entry, or the barrels. And he's able to just course correct it enough to keep it out of there. I need to see that onboard of this one, because my goodness gracious, how does he keep it from going around and then keep from going to the barrels? It looked like he was a beeline for those barrels. Oh, just got it pulled right in the last second. It drops him all the way back to 17th place, battling with Zach Probst for that spot. But you know what? That's better than having a junked race car, I'd say, for Coleman Elmore's purposes. He'll have a chance to fight back after that one here on lap number 50. Just over 90 laps to go that time by. And we'll see how this field starts to shake out as we start to get into a little bit of a run here after that last caution. Bryson Bird leading over Matthew Chastain, Bridger Olson, and Gavin Austin in the top 4. They're starting to kind of constrict back into a tight pack behind this 53 car. Of course, Gavin Austin is new this season. He's a rookie. This is only his 2nd race in the Slide Job Racing League, but he's not somebody to laugh at. You know, he's not somebody to not laugh at. I mean, more so, not somebody to discount as being a new guy here around the block. I've seen him race in many of the leagues. He's a very successful driver. He's a very fast driver. So it's no shock to see him come out and immediately start swinging and competing here in this first race on a true oval comparative to like a Daytona or a super speedway. And then you've got, of course, Bridger Olson, who's been really good, had a resurgence last season with the 3 wins to break that almost 5-season winless streak. You got Matthew Chastain right here in the 12, who's not really a very flashy winner, I guess is the thing to say. I guess that's the way to phrase it. He's got some wins to his name here in the Slide Job Racing League, but he doesn't have a ton. Really only just a few, just a handful, but hey, better to have a handful than to have none. He's looking for his 5th career win if he can get it tonight. His last win coming back at Talladega, I will say, just 2 seasons ago. But they are all chasing driver number 53. That's Bryson Bird. Bryson Bird, of course, was a rookie last season. Made his debut in the Slide Job Racing League in the 2nd race of the season. Missed Daytona last season, qualified outside pole this season. He's having a pretty good run tonight so far. He's been pretty dominant early on here. I don't want to gas him up too much, because usually what happens when I start to hype up somebody that I know in the races here, they end up wrecking themselves. See Brett Bennett like every time I talk about him in a positive manner. But you see Bryson out to over 7/10 of a second lead, but the pass has happened for 2nd. Bridger Olson is taken from Matthew Chastain, and Chastain, a little bit of contact with Gavin Austin. Austin trying to get to his back bumper, but not get into him. They keep it together at least stay green. Chastain into 3rd. Now Gavin Austin looking to take that spot from him as well. How about Frank DeAngelis in the 96 car? He's up here in 5th place as they run right now, with Armstead and Ghali not far behind. See lap traffic about to be a factor here for the field. Catching up on some slower cars. Back out on track, they got some damage. You see the 72, Alan Hunt is here, as well as 33, Robert Lukens, the 69 of Tyler Watermolen. So the leader's going to quickly have to navigate this very slow traffic up ahead of him. You can see Olson is starting to pull away from Austin and Chastain and catching up to Bryson Bird. Some really good lap times being put down by that 2 machine. As they head through 3 and 4, Bird just trying to maintain this lead for now. Olson carving into it bit by bit, piece by piece. slowly but surely catching us further back. A battle happening in this position, 4th place. Here comes DeAngelis in the 96 on the inside of Matthew Chastain. So head through 1 and 2. Inside, just about side by side, about contact there. It looks like DeAngelis is going to take over 4th place from Chastain. Is Armistead right there? Oh, Chastain going to get the outside wall there. He's going to cut back down across the track. He'll get back down there as Galli now to the inside of Armistead. What was for 6th is now for 5th. Looking for a top 5 is the 54 machine. I'd say he's the hungriest to win this race tonight of anybody. Not because somebody doesn't want to win, but because, hey, he wants to win more races. He wants to keep winning, and he wants to just make people upset. And he's so good at what he does. Looking for a top 5, looking for more, looking to go back-to-back to kick off season number 16 on the right foot for the 54 can. So the battle for the lead is now really tight. Bird just hanging on by a thread as Bridger Olsen right on the back bumper. Here comes the 2 machine, charging for the race lead with just now make it 80, now 79 laps to go here at Rockingham. I would assume one more stop for this field to make it to the end of this race. They're not going to make it on the stop they made the caution previous to the last one. But they're going to make it pretty far, I would say. I'm not too sure what the fuel mileage is, but I would say they have to stop one more time. I'd be shocked if they don't. But the battle for the lead, here we go. Olsen on the inside, sliding up a little bit. Bryson giving him room on the inside lane. Olsen is going to clear down the backstretch. Not yet, but he'll clear entering turn 3, and there he goes. Bridger Olsen now takes the top spot on lap 63. We'll see if he can hold strong, hold court, and try and go for his first win of the season and his 4th win in the last 2 seasons, nearly doubling, or actually doubling, his win count totals prior to last season. But the thing that Bridger Olsen has had so many problems with, he's been plagued with so many times. It's so many so close and so many should-have-beens, could-have-beens, and would-have-beens with Bridger. You know, the most recent example, of course, was the Chicago Street Course last season, leading with 2 laps to go and just completely missing turn 6, driving into the tires and killing his race. A lot of times it's been not self-inflicted, I would say. Just incidents that happened that swallowed him up at times where he was in contention to win, shuffled back because of pit stop strategies, and then wrecked, or just other things that are outside of his control. But this time now, he's looking to take over once more and keep getting these wins to fall in his favor. He had 3 last season, really good run last year, his career year, I would say. But he wants to build upon that now. Battle for 3rd is underway. Jeffrey Armistead starting to make some waves here in the 14 car as he now moves to the inside of Gavin Austin. This is for a podium position. He'll take it in that 14 Zinn Ford Mustang. Jeffrey Armistead quietly moving up here into the top 3 and now looking to see if he can cut into that gap that Bryson Bird and Bridger Olsen have ahead of him. Back in the background, Yusuf Ghali sliding by Frank DeAngelis. Chastain charging back on the inside as well as the battle for 6 now heats up. So now it's Bridger Olsen making his way through 3 and 4, leading this field, coming close to the halfway point of this race. Lap number 68 completed this time by 2 more laps to halfway. Olsen doing a really good job putting some good lap times down as Bryson's starting to fall off. He's not dropped off massively, but he has fallen back a little bit. But the person who's not falling off is the race leader. He's putting down some very good lap times. 25.268. Compared to 25.5 flat by Bryson, 25.4 for Armistead. So Bryson and Armistead trailing behind is, looks like Bridger's really saved some stuff here for the later half of this run. Armistead is running down teammate Bryson Bird slowly but surely. Got 10th faster last time by. He's about a second back of 2nd place. as we are now halfway home in this race. Bryson Bird chasing Bridger Olson. Bird led the most laps so far. Olson has taken the lead on lap 63. He's now led 7 laps in that number 2 machine. We'll be catching up to Owen Chybinski in the 27. Will be the last car on the lead lap. Will be the first car 1 lap down when he gets lapped. This next time by. Olsen a little bit slower than the cars behind him that last time by. Armstead still running 3 decent lap times and catching this number 2 car. Chybinski gets in the wall to try to get out of the way. He's trying to stay out of the leader's way. He'll have to quickly find a spot here as here comes Bryson Bird to his inside going by. And we've kind of hit the part of the run where the field kind of starts to stagnate where they are. Really no big swings one way or the other, but this track really does offer a lot of spots for the drivers to screw up and make a mistake, and that's what we're going to likely see as this race goes on. We got a bit of a chain of cars here. 58, Yusuf Ghali met to Chastain. It's Ben Baffert as Chastain gets a little loose ahead of Baffert. Enrique Cucalon behind them. DeAngelis in the 96 has faded back to 9th, and that's allowed Dane Cruz, who's all the way up down to 10th, to put pressure on him for that 9th place spot. As they're passing the lap car of Owen Chybinski now, this group is. Chastain trying to hold off Ben Baffert and Enrique Cucalon behind him. Oh, Baffert to the inside. Chastain trying to get down, couldn't do it. Tried to close the door on him, couldn't get there. And now Baffert will take 6th place for the time being. Chastain right there on his back bumper. Cucalon as well in tow. That 22 car. A little slideways on the exit of turn 2. The difference between guys that have kind of saved their stuff a little bit better than others, and others who've kind of burnt it off, run hard there at the beginning of the run. They're starting to pay the price. Like Frank DeAngelis in the 96, he was really pushing hard at the start of that restart. At the restart there, he pushed all the way up to about 5th place, and then after that, hit that point where it just falls back down to earth. And he's running 25.7s compared to the field around him running 25.6s or 25.5s. Just really struggling in the 96 car right now to get it back going and get more power down. 25.8 last time by. The first driver to hit the 25.8s up in the top 10. The top 15, pardon me. Oh, Chybinski pounds the wall there. As does Christian Delgado back behind him. Ben Baffert chasing down Yusuf Ghali for 5th place. 23 recovered from the incident that happened with Dylan Parker earlier in this race. Good job bouncing back so far, getting back up here for a top 5 spot. Down on last week's winner, Yusuf Ghali. Just trying to get to the inside, can't quite stick it in there. Place finish last week at Daytona. He'll get by Ghali on the inside lane. That'll allow Cucalon a run here as well. And Dane Cruz now coming in the number 1 machine. Dane looking to do what his favorite driver, Jesse Love, did at this racetrack earlier last season, or last year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and win this race. But he's looking to not be disqualified after doing so. Battle is on for 2nd. Armstead has caught teammate Bryson Bird. Armstead looking to see if he can get a break from his teammate and get by him here. Much faster is the 14. You see him doing the same thing we saw Dylan Parker doing. Entering high in 1 and 2, cutting low on the exit, and really getting the run down and running it that way. It's working wonders for him in 1 and 2 down the back, and he'll clear Bryson Bird for 2nd place. So now Armstead has about a 1.8 second gap he has to cut into if he wants to try to catch the race leader, Bridger Olson. Dane Cruz takes 6 from Enrique Cucolon. Now setting his sights on the back bumper of Ben Baffert, trying to catch and pass him for what would be a top 5 spot. Away is now Jeffrey Armistead trying to pull away from Bryson Bird, with the race leader Richard Olson pulling away from Armistead as well, but he is really going to have some troubles to navigate now. Lap traffic is about to start being more fierce, catching the back half of the field now. Right up ahead, that's the 38 of Matt Steiner, currently 24th place. You got Nick Bingham as well, and Blaine Sparling not far ahead either. They passed Robert Lukens, who's a couple laps down, 19 to be exact. Olson has got to find a way around this 38 machine quickly. Steiner gives him the inside lane. Will get in the wall to stay out of his way. See how much time this lap traffic might start to cost. Our race leader is Armistead in second, trying to catch him now. Got a car maybe coming to pit road. Yes, Frank DeAngelis. Maybe the first car to come down pit lane. Dane Cruz rolling on the inside line, catching Gavin Austin now for 4th place. This one machine is hooked up. He is flying through this field, and it's no surprise, of course, if you know the nickname, you know the game, the Cruise Missile. Always so good at running down stuff. You see Bryson Bird coming to pit lane that time. The 53 machine peels off for pit road from 3rd place. So there's your pit stops we were talking about coming in this race. I'd say it's about a split down the middle, maybe just a little bit less of a split. 56 laps since they last came down pit lane. We'll see how it shakes out for the rest of these drivers as they make their way around the racetrack. Such a tricky pit road to get onto as well. It's really easy to miss that pit lane. We got more drivers coming. Jared Wilson, Matthew Chastain, they peel off and head down pit road on lap number 88. Would expect more to be coming in these next couple laps. I think Armistead's slowing down to come to pit lane. No, he's just slow on the top side. Dane Cruz gets by for 3rd. Ben Baffert, Enrique Cucolon right there in this mix as well. And the key to these pit stops coming up for these drivers, no mistakes. Absolutely no mistakes. Especially on a short track. You know, you cannot afford a penalty on pit road, or else your race is just killed entirely. But gotta wonder when Armistead maybe considers coming to pit road. Does he wait till after Olson pits, or does he try to undercut and try to pit first? Not sure if the undercut will for sure work or not. But he's gonna have to try something at some point. Cruz pulling away from Gavin Austin. He's now got Ben Baffert and Enrique Cucolon in his rear view mirror. Baffert going to the inside. Out of 4th. Austin hanging tough on the outside lane. Baffert on the inside trying to get the run on corner exit. Tight door to door racing there. No contact to keep it off each other. Austin still hanging tough on the outside lane. Baffert on the inside, going to pull up and not clear just quite yet, but really trying to get the run down to get ahead and clear. Oh, a little contact just about there into turns 1 and 2, trying to run that 6 car a little bit higher than he wanted to, out of the groove he wanted to be in. And he's going to slide up. Contact made with Baffert and Austin. 3 wide almost for a second, and Cucolon had thought about it. Baffert now again on the inside of Austin. Side by side they go once more through 3 and 4. Cucolon behind Austin. Baffert on the inside lane, just trying to ride the door of the 6 car to make this stick. It's not working. The runoff of turn 2 goes to the 6 car down the backstretch. Clark Ginnikin down pit road as well from 13th place. Tight racing between these two. Baffert does not want to give in. He wants 4th place, at least for now. Sliding in the corner, almost contact again between the two. Just kind of watching for the leaders to see if they come to pit road this time. Looks like nothing yet for these drivers. Kukulon going higher. Baffert's still on the inside. Austin still running that middle line. Baffert is doing a good job keeping it from drifting up into that 6 car like it just about did in turn 1. Austin clear. Baffert back on the inside. Baffert disappears. He'll reappear right there in line behind the 6 car now. It's Kukulon now. Slots in behind him. Now Baffert under fire from Gali and Kukulon. You see Coleman Elmore in the 19. He is a lap down. He came down pit road on fresher tires, just trying to get by these guys and see if he can't get up there. Get one of his 2 laps back. He's currently 2 laps down to pit. Back Brett Bennett getting by Christian Delgado for 9th place. Just waiting to see when the leaders decide to pit. I don't think they can make it to the end of this race. I don't think that's a strategy call that happens. But we'll see how the field takes it. I think Olsen, he'll be coming to pit road soon if he has to pit. But I'm none too sure how the fuel mileage is looking. Let me double check real quick. I'll call on my sources. I'll see what they're saying. So we'll call the sources up. We'll see what they think and see how it shakes out. So the field is going to have to pit. They cannot make it to the end of this race. Is what I double checked on, and that's the answer. They cannot make it to the end of this race. Brett Bennett came down pit lane that time, indeed he did. And Baffert has been reappearing and disappearing. Kukulon and Gavin Austin see each other. And this is where things get really treacherous here. Oh my goodness, about wrecked Sam Ballard there in front of Gavin Austin and Enrique Kukulon. And you see Jared Wilson come around, almost more contact between Austin and Kukulon. There goes the 83. Then Baffert, Yusuf Gali racing back behind them. Austin and Kukulon are fighting, and they're letting these other cars come by. These are cars that have taken tires already and already came down pit road. Christian Delgado now the next car to come down pit lane. It's just like a game of chicken. You don't want to you want to wait as long as you can to pit, it seems like is what these guys are trying to do. They want to try to run as long as they have to before having to pit, coming down and taking their tires and fuel. But they can't go forever. They have to pit. I wonder if they figure the longer they go, either the better chance they have of getting a caution flag, or at the very least, the better shot they have of just being able to run it to the end full bore. With just 38 laps to go this time by, it's kind of looking like what it's going to be is just you run full bore the rest of this race. You know, once you pit, you make it to the end with no problems. Because I don't think that these guys are going to cycle out any further back in the field with where they're running right now. The cars that have already pit are cars that were further back. They were cars that were outside the top 10, right on the verge of it, right inside of it. Maybe like 8th place was the highest I saw somebody pit from, except for Bryson Bird. Came down pit road from 3rd place. Everybody else stayed out. And they're saying they have to pitting in for fuel. So I don't know if this is a case of waiting for a yellow flag, hoping for a caution to come out, or flat out just trying to make something else work. No, we got Armistead coming in from second. Second place is on pit road. So is Kukulon. So is Gavin Austin. 3 cars coming down the pit lane this time by. Austin needs to get it loaded up so he doesn't speed on pit road. I'd imagine this might start bringing the rest of the leaders down. Olsen down on the bottom lane, but he's not pitting yet. I don't believe he's going to stay out another lap at the very least. Dane Cruz is in second. Yusuf Ghali is in third. I'd imagine these guys might stay out and stretch it a little bit here. The Cruz Auto Racing teammates, as well as Dylan Parker in fifth now too. He's rebounded to the top 5 with this pit strategy. Jace Lafort on the track as well in sixth. Diego Acuna, Michael Kruger, all have yet to pit. As of right now, Bryson Bird, he's in 9th place. We'll see how he shakes out as Olsen now coming to pit road. The race leader is in. Dane Cruz will stay out and take the race lead. It's all about how Bryson Bird shakes out compared to these guys that pit now. How does he do? He's ahead of Armistead by a good chunk. Bridger Olsen on pit lane now too. I will say this. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think this has been a bad call by the 53. The way things look right now, he's got a good gap, and it's been pretty manageable on the older tires. So we'll see if he can maintain and manage. Cruz is on pit road now. Dylan Parker staying out for another lap at the very least, as well as some other drivers. But Bryson Bird is currently in 6th place. He is well ahead of Olsen and Armistead. Olsen coming off of pit lane now. Armistead coming through 1 and 2. Olsen is back up to speed before Armistead can get there, so Armistead is not going to catch the 2 machine because of that pit stop. A second and a half is the gap, so it stays about the same as it was as Dylan Parker comes down pit road. Jace Lafort will take the race lead. Shout out to the 92. By the way, he's racing with a broken elbow. He's got a full cast on his left arm, racing with that thing on. He's wheeling and dealing. He'll lead some laps by staying out here, so kudos to him for going through this. But Michael Kruger as well has yet to pit in the 41. The 92 and the 41 have yet to pit. Bryson Bird in third. He has come down pit lane already. Jared Wilson as well has pit. So is D'Angelo, so is Chastain, so is Dylan Parker on pit lane right now getting his pit stop done. So Olsen's a second and a half ahead of Jeffrey Armistead. Here's how he shakes out. He is about maybe 11 seconds behind Bryson Bird. He's got to make up that gap in about 30 laps. He ran a 23.9 last time by. Bryson ran a 25.0, about a second faster, so he will catch him. Bryson will put up a fight, though. I don't know how good of a fight he can put up, but he can put up a fight. So we'll see what he can do in the 53 car. Can he try to score his first career win tonight at Rockingham, or will Bridger Olsen make the pit strategy work out in his favor and take home another checkered flag here tonight? Olsen also starting to pull away from Armistead a little bit now, running some really fast lap times out on the racetrack, and now Lafort staying out again. Bird got past Michael Kruger, who's got a big stack up behind him as he's coming to pit lane. The 97, Sam Ballard almost got into him. Kruger missed pit road. Michael Kruger instead again. Oh, there's smoke up ahead. Dylan Parker had a penalty, by the way, on pit road. I saw smoke. I think everybody gathered it up and saved it for now. Dangerous situations here as Lafort is finally on pit lane. That'll cycle Bryson Bird to the race lead. So all these different strategies, all these different cars running these different tires and everything. It's just shuffling everybody about, making everybody race tight and tense. Yusuf Ghali getting by the race leader, as is now Ben Bafford. Dylan Parker got a black flag on his stop. So he's dropped back to 24th, 2 laps down, out of this race pretty much. Ghali is now 13th, Bafford up to 13th. As Ghali goes up to 12th now, just ahead of race leader Bryson Bird, getting their lap back. So it cycles out to Bryson Bird, Jared Wilson, Frank D'Angelo, Matthew Chastain, Bridger Olsen, the top 5. Olsen is only 5 seconds back of the lead right now and running about over a second faster than Bryson Bird. He is catching in a hurry in this 2 car. He's looking to fly through this traffic and keep pushing forward. Armistead has not really lost touch. He's kind of stayed stagnant with how far back he was in Olsen before the pit stops happened. Chastain is the next challenge for Bridger Olsen up ahead in 4th place, about a second ahead of him. Then another second ahead to Frank D'Angelo, and about a 1.3 second gap to Jared Wilson, and a second and a half gap to our race leader Bryson Bird, who's just looking for this race to finish as quick as possible, or maybe he could be hoping for a caution here too, because a caution can equal them out on tires, as the field would likely all come down pit road and take a set at the caution. and give him a better chance to win with less laps to go in this race to get to the finish line. See how it all plays out here with 116 of 140 laps being complete this time by. Give us about 25, now 24 laps to go. Olsen to the inside of Chastain. That's for 4th place. Now the 2 machine moves up another spot, and now he's got some lap traffic, and then Frank DeAngelis up ahead of him. He'll get by the inside of the 72, struggling there. An older lap car there is Alan Hunt, 26 laps down in 29th. He's made up some spots. We maybe get Clark Gennigan as well in about 3 laps. He'll quickly shoot by DeAngelis, Will Olsen. So now he's back on the podium, and you can see he's 3 seconds back and still closing rapidly on our race leaders. Brett Bennett is slow on the track. Heavy damage for the 06 machine. I think he caught the outside wall pretty good coming to pit lane. Took a big hit there for the 06. Entering turn 3. Oh, contact with Dane Cruz. And that ends Brett Bennett's night in the number 06 machine. Bryson Bird has the lead. Bridger Olsen chasing down 2nd place Jared Wilson as Jeffrey Armistead trying to get by lap traffic and other cars that are on older tires. He's heading for Matthew Chastain's back bumper for 5th place now. Looking to see if he can quickly dispatch these guys and keep in touch with Bridger Olsen just in case something happens to that 2 machine before this race is over. But he is closing. You can hear the Jaws theme playing in Bryson Bird's radio as he has that number 2 machine rapidly closing. It'll be 20 laps to go, a 1.3 second gap between himself and Olsen. Jared Wilson trying not to make it easy for him, but Olsen going to quickly just dart to the inside and get by the 2 cars. They head into turn 1 with 20 laps to go. A second is the gap between Olsen and Bird. Bird's got 2 lap cars behind him right now. Do they play a factor in this race? I don't think they're going to matter. Olsen is just so much faster in that 2 car. And with 19 laps to go, on the back bumper of these 2 lappers, he's going to find a way around them quickly, and he'll find a way around this 53 just as quick as he gets by these lap cars. Cuts to the inside of Owen Jabinski. He'll get by him. Got Sam Ballard ahead, and then the race lead. Held by Bryson Bird, who's led a bunch of laps early in this race. Got past the lap 63 for the lead by Bridger Olsen, who checked out. Bryson trying a pit strategy. He pit earlier than the rest of the field, 20 laps earlier than Bridger Olsen. But now the older tires are going to come to roost for him. Bridger Olsen to the inside lane for the race lead, and what could be the pass for the win. He'll get to the inside. Bryson goes up high. Bridger Olsen back to the front here at Rockingham, coming to 17 laps to go. Bryson knew he had to try something different for the win. Just doesn't work out right now for him. We have a gaggle of cars right here. Gavin Austin, Dane Cruz getting by them. Matthew Chastain, Enrique Cucalon, and Frank DeAngelis all right here. There's Nick Wheeler in the 32 in the outside wall. But up front, it's Bridger Olsen who leads the field. Coming around next time by. It'll be 15 laps to go. Presented by 72 Diecast on eBay. 72 Diecast now an official Lionel retailer. So get your new releases or get some old classics on his eBay page now. It's at 72 Diecast on eBay. You can tell him Dawson sent you. I don't know what it'll say, but you can tell Dawson sent you. Closing on the end of this race, Bridger Olsen just looking to cap it off, looking to finish it off and take home his first win of season 16 and his 4th win in the last 2 seasons. We talked last season a lot about how arduous the journey was for Bridger Olsen. Season 9, he was the runner-up in the championship to Dalton Kilroe way back in season number 9. He came into season 10 with high hopes, but just could not break through the victory lane again. It felt like he could not ever win again. Constantly, it felt like fate was aligned to not let him into victory lane, to not let him win a race. He just could not break through. Then last season at Daytona, he gets the checkered flag. He follows it up 2 weeks later with a win at Phoenix. And then he was able to get the win in Atlanta in the chase. He didn't come home with the championship. It went to Steven Maggio, but Bridger had a new fire lit under him. He was able to really kind of get back in the groove of things, and it felt like he kind of found himself again. Because he's been up racing for wins. He's been contending for wins. Has some of them slipped away? Yes. He's had some mistakes that he's made, or mistakes other people made that have taken him out of it. But the breaks have gone his way more than they haven't. And with just 11 laps to go now at Rockingham, Bridger is looking to have another break go his way and have another race where he puts it all together, end up with a checkered flag. But he's got 11 laps ahead. There's still so much that could happen in 11 laps. Like this battle between Gavin Austin and Enrique Cucalon for 6th place that is starting to draw tight. Get the battle between Armistead and Bryson Bird. That likely will be a pass for position before this race is over. Armistead is catching the number 53 car. Not rapidly, but he is catching. And likely is going to take that spot away from him before we get to the end of this race with just 10 laps to go now here at Rockingham. To be Bridger Olsen, it would take a yellow. Got a car that's a little bit slower right now. Yusuf Ghali having struggles here in 12th place. Not sure what's going on with the 54 machine, but he's having trouble out back. Battle for second. Here comes Armistead charging back to Bryson Bird's bumper. And Bryson tried something out. He tried to make it work. In the end, he'll come out just about where he came in. 3rd place right now is where he sits. The one that worked for the most, I'd say, is Jared Wilson. Sits in 4th place right now. I think he came down pit road in 10th place when the cycle started. He's looking like he's on track to finish in the top 5 if he can hold strong for another 8 laps. Right now, back to 5th place. He's got a 2-second gap to Enrique Cucalon. So what a call by Jared Wilson. From what may have been a fringe top 10 to a top 5 run right now for the number 83 machine. But with 7 laps to go, Olsen just wants to get to that checkered flag. Field is really kind of not, I wouldn't say spaced out in the sense of no one's near each other. It's more so spaced out in the sense that cars for position are really not near each other. It's kind of really gotten that gap for the run right now. Dane Cruz is catching for 3rd. We'll see if he can make the move for it before the end of this race. Bryson going to try to fight to keep this spot and keep the podium if he can. But Dane Cruz is right there lurking in the background in that one machine. Our biggest mover of the night is going to be Dane Cruz, up 25 spots to drop the green flag, but he wants one more spot if he can get it. He wants to make it around 26 and go for 3rd place as he makes his way to the inside of Bryson Bird. Bird trying to hang on for all that he's got, but it's not going to be enough. Cruz to the inside, Cruz to 3rd. Bridger Olsen blinked out for a second there. As we have 4 laps to go, the race leader had a bit of a connection issue. I was about to say that could really shake things up if he disappears from this race. Now everything is just really on edge for Bridger Olsen. 3 to go. About a 5-second lead for Bridger Olsen over Jeffrey Armistead. How about the run for Armistead tonight? And of course, how about the run by Dane Cruz to climb through the field and get to the podium? But up in front, it is all about Bridger Olsen, who makes his way through turns 3 and 4. No caution is going to fly. We're going to get to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Rockingham. Last season, he rattled off a career year. 3 wins to his name, a career high in top fives, a career high in top tens, but he didn't come away with a championship. He starts off this season picking back up where he left off, and he'll take his first victory at the Rock. Out of turn 4, it's going to be Bridger Olsen who wins here in Rockingham. He'll get to the front stretch. He will burn it down. Dylan Parker, the pole sitter, teammate with Bridger. Baffer going to come up as well. Does he do a burnout? Does he just sit on the grid? We'll see. So he's going to sit and soak in the celebration now. So Bridger sits celebrating a victory here tonight. He'll take home his first checkered flag of season 14, his 4th in the last 2 seasons. He gets it over Jeffrey Armistead and Dane Cruz. What a run for Dane Cruz tonight in that one machine. He'll come home 3rd in the Cruz Missile. Bryson Bird having a great run tonight. He'll finish 4th at the lead, and I think it was about 40, maybe 50-ish laps in the 53 car. Did a really good job tonight, but ultimately he'll come up short in 4th place. Jared Wilson, what a call to pit when he did. He'll come home 5th for his efforts there. Enrique Hucalon finishes tonight in 6th place, and it was Gavin Austin, Matthew Chastain, Ben Baffert, and Frank DeAngelis is able to round out the top 10. Christian Delgado, Yusuf Ghali, last week's winner, will come home 12th, and Jace Lafort 1 lap down in 13th. How about the run for him tonight, despite the broken elbow? 13th place at Rockingham, pretty good for the 92 team. Diego Acuna makes his season debut tonight, finishing 14th. William Martin back in 15th, and Michael Kruger, Nick Wheeler, Blaine Sparling, Nick Bingham, and Matt Steiner. That's the top 20. Dylan Parker 21st, Zach Probst in 22nd. Then it was Coleman Elmore, Sam Ballard, Owen Chybinski making his debut tonight in 25th. Robert Lukens comes home 26th. Brett Bennett, Alan Hunt, Clark Gennigan, Tyler Watermullen, and the rest of the field that wrecked out early or did not make the grid at all. That's how they're going to finish up tonight. See if we can get a hold of our top 3 finishers. We'll start trying to get a hold of Dane Cruz. Hey, Dane Cruz, this is Dawson Allen. You got a copy?
I got you. What's up?
Alrighty, man. It was a bit of a struggle for you at the start of the race, trying to get through all the traffic and manage all the chaos, but in the end, you come away the biggest mover of the race, and you take home a 3rd place run. What was that race like for you tonight, Dane?
Well, that's kind of just a relearning experience. I'm not gonna lie. I don't drive this car. I'm really accustomed to everything the next gen does. And this is very clearly not the next gen. So it was interesting. But it all boils down to it just being V7. You got to save your tires. You have to be easy on the right front, and that's just what it was tonight. So, I just hung out and saved my stuff, and then when everyone else dropped off, they had nothing for me. So, but shout out to Bridger getting it done. He whooped all of us. I'm not gonna lie. It was 5.5 over Jeffrey and about 6.6 ahead of me. So Bridger did a great job. And the field did a pretty good job too. It's a pretty green race, pretty good long run there, and it was all right. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Dane. Well, it's starting off the season here with a third place run at the first track not named Daytona. How you just feeling about this season, trying to get back a grasp on how this Xfinity car runs, and just trying to run the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's so weird because the big thing with the next gens is that they're like infamously super stiff and they don't really like move. And these cars like roll through the corners and they roll on the straightaways, and that's definitely the biggest difference. And this is probably the worst track for that. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the worst when it comes to that body roll type of thing. I don't remember where we go next week, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I was debating on full time or not, but it's been a pretty good start to the season with seventh and third. So yeah, we'll see. Where do we go next week, Dawson?
Well, Dane, we head to a track that you've won at before here in the Slide Job Racing League. That would be Auto Club.
Yeah, okay, that'll be interesting. Yeah, like this is kind of going to be like a relearning season. Like I said, I've probably driven these cars probably 2 or 3 times within the last like year and a half. So, uh, it's going to be kind of new to me, but um, yeah, well, we'll see. I felt like I've always been pretty decent at Auto Club. Yeah, just consistency. Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, I definitely say pretty decent. Multiple wins here, 2 wins at the track, including the win last season at that track. But hey, third place tonight. Teammates, sponsors, shoutouts. What got it done for you tonight?
Well, like I said, Bridger coming home with the dub, 2 in a row for Cruise Auto Racing. Sorry to Brett Bennett, I kind of hit him. He was having a good run, and all those guys on that team are having a good run. So good to see them. Enrique got 6th, man. I was like, wow, this guy's running pretty good. He was pretty solid tonight. So shout out to Enrique and my other teammates working with them. Appreciate them every week.
Alrighty, it's a third place run tonight for the Cruise Missile. Dane Cruz takes home third at Rockingham. Congrats on the third place run, Dane.
Thank you.
And now we'll see if we can catch up. I think Enrique has joined me in the booth actually too. Enrique, you want to talk to our second place finisher tonight?
Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can catch up with our second place finisher here tonight, my teammate, Jeffrey Armerson. Hey, Jeffrey Armerson, there's Enrique Kukulon and Dawson Allen up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, hey guys, how's it going?
Well, I just raced with you, but we have to quickly hop on here at the broadcast, of course. Second place finish here tonight at Rockingham. How's that race for you?
Yeah, it obviously it ended up very well. Finishing second, I couldn't tell you last time I've podiumed in this league, so it's good to get a really good run. I really like the long green runs; those tend to suit my style better, and I was glad we got one to the end. Throughout practice, I really felt like I was out to lunch, and I kind of started to figure things out during that first initial like 20 or so laps that we had after the first yellow, and started to reel some guys in. Felt like I was kind of figuring it out, and then once that last run to the finish started, I was just trying to take it easy and started reeling people in. Was able to get by them. There was like maybe a 10 to 20 lap period where I felt like I was a little bit faster than Bridger. And then kind of once he was in the lead and I was second or third, he took off, and it seemed like it was a race for second, and it really was. So I'm glad that I was the best of the rest, and yeah, it was a fun track to drive. A lot of brake and off throttle time, really having to manage the throttle. So went really well. Really glad I was able to finally get back on the podium in here.
Well, you talk about the podium now. This sets up a big confidence booster, of course, heading to California next week. What do you think the plan's going to be, heading into these next few races?
Yeah, typically I've enjoyed California in every car. It's another one of those where you kind of got to save tire, and it's I'm not a huge fan of Michigan. I'm not very good there, but I've been pretty good at Auto Club in the past. So hoping that I can continue this momentum forward. And I haven't really raced the Xfinity car in a while. Probably really the last time was in SOFA a couple seasons ago. So felt good to kind of start relearning the car. Last week at Daytona, you don't really learn how to drive the car like you do at these other tracks. So hopefully kind of some of the throttle management and brake and things that I got reaccustomed to this week, they carry over to next week, and we can bring home another good finish.
All right. Yep. Second place finish here tonight for Jeffrey, of course. Any teammate sponsor shoutouts? Who got that number 14 Zin car in second place?
Yeah, I always got to give a shout out to Zen. I got a little peppermint in right now. That definitely gave me the boost I needed to get to the front. I also want to give a shout out to all the Circumference Ultimate Motorsports, Circumference Ultimate Motorsports 2, all the SBLD guys. That's you, Enrique. We got Bryson in there, Mikey, Brett, and then there's a whole host of other people that are part of it now too. So it was fun being in chat with them, and definitely shout out to them for being along for the ride.
All right. Well, that's your second place finisher here tonight, Jeffrey Armour. So congratulations, Jeffrey, and we'll see you next week at California.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. We'll kick it back up to Dawson and see if we can catch up with our race winner, Bridger Olson.
And let's dial up our race winner, Mr. Bridger Olson. Hey, Bridger Olson, is Dawson out in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, we're getting accustomed to talking to you in the booth again. That's gotta feel pretty good. Another win to your name. This is now your fourth win in the past 2 seasons alone. You've now doubled your total win count beforehand. What is it like just finally now, you've broken through last season and then carrying it over to this season, now having a race that you're able to put together like this to take home the checkered flag in dominant fashion?
Yeah, it feels really good. With us switching cars again, I didn't know how I would do in the Xfinity. Because the Xfinity is how I went on that dry spell in the first place. But yeah, it's really good in the second race back to get a win.
Absolutely. It kind of was an even playing field. The Rockingham track has not been running this league since all the way in the back, like season 3, I think. So it's been a while for everybody else to get out here. But just what was that race like for you? Just, working your way up through, the field, battling for positions back and forth. It felt like it was a tug of war at times between drivers coming and going. Was it tire saving, or was it maybe just a matter of just the runs coming to you as the laps went on?
Yeah, it was 100% all tire saving. I don't even really know what I did better than most other people. It's just yeah, it's really hard to hit your corners here, so consistency is pretty important. And yeah, luckily the top 10 and even top 5 has a lot of different faces, so that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of new blood up in the front, but it's still some old blood taking home the checkered flag tonight for you, Bridger. Um, just what is the feeling like heading into this season now? Getting a win early on and just building upon that as the season goes on, especially heading to a track that you're pretty good at with Auto Club.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, Cruise Auto Racing, Dane came from last to first. They brought a rocket ship. Yeah, and we have a pretty sizable lead in the championship, so huge for the momentum.
Alrighty, it's a race win once again for Bridger Olson. Starting to get a little tired of him, maybe some people are, but hey, he's finally found his rhythm again. Teammate, sponsor, shout out to that 2 machine to victory lane.
Yeah, thank you to everybody back at the shop. Everybody on Cruise Auto Racing for the work they put in and week out. Everybody for showing up, and you guys for putting on a pretty decent broadcast, I assume. So yeah.
Alrighty, that's your race winner from tonight, Bridger Olson, taking the checkered flag here at Rockingham. Congrats on the win, Bridger.
Thank you.
See, still parked there in victory lane is the number 2 machine. So that'll do it from us here tonight at Rockingham. Really good race, I would say, all around. I really enjoyed watching that one play out. Of course, it started off a little more hectic than you would think, or I shouldn't say that you would think, a little as hectic as you would expect it to be. Cautions happening. We had some big accidents there at the beginning portions of this race, but in the end, we got that long green flag run. I think it was about maybe 80-ish laps, almost 90 laps. Really fun. Absolutely love it when we get these long green flag runs because it means that these drivers are putting in the work to get these races going clean and green to the end without any issues. So I always appreciate that from them, and they put on a heck of a show. And I really do appreciate that from them as well. But that'll do it from us here tonight at Rockingham. Tomorrow night, the NASCAR Cessna Cup Series kicks off its chase. 5 races to determine the champion with 12 drivers in contention. They race tomorrow night at Nashville Super Speedway. Don't want to miss that one, 9 p.m. Eastern here on BRN. Then, of course, Thursday night, the SoFa Racing League is winding down its season as well. Just 3 races remain in the season. Chicagoland now lies in wait for the field this Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern here on BRN. The Fast Track Cup Series is getting ready to roll into Daytona for the duels this upcoming Monday night, and then come back next week here, Tuesday night racing. It's the Slide Job Racing League at Auto Club. Every race, I should just say this and quantify this, every race that happens here happens at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so you can just show up to BRN Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, guarantee you there's a race on of some kind. So we'll see you there. We hope to see you in all these broadcasts, and we hope to see you there. Thanks to the drivers for coming out and putting on a show for us. Thank you to the fans for always tuning in and watching. I want to say thank you to everybody involved with BRN and all their help in putting on a heck of a show, because if it wasn't for them, I'd have no show to show. So thank you. As always, this is Dustin Allen signing off, saying so long, have a great rest of your night, and congrats go to Bridget Olson, your race winner here from Rockingham. Good night, everybody.